Hi, I'm Declan Connolly, founder of Bespoke Home Design, and thank you so much for checking out this 9-step terraced house basic loft conversion execution plan. This execution plan comes with 27 drawings in both PDF and CAD format, which you can download below. The PDFs are for printing right now if you wish, and the CAD files are for editing with a relevant computer program. You also have a list of free computer programs these CAD files will work with, and these are listed on the second page of the PDF drawing pack. But before you go ahead and start using those drawings, you need to watch this presentation first, so you can understand what the drawings are all about. This presentation will show you how to make your home a whole lot bigger with a loft conversion. Now here we're going through a basic loft layout, so we will look at putting in a single bedroom with an ensuite in the loft. There is also an advanced loft execution plan too, but I do urge you to watch this one first, as I cover a lot of design principles here that I will make reference to in the advanced case study. But I'll talk more about that later, as we have a lot to cover in this execution plan. Also, it's worth saying now, with the lofts we need to be a bit creative with how we plan them out. Things like stairs access, headroom, water tanks, drainage and utilities can be tricky, and that's even if a loft is possible in the first place, as another big issue is the roof structure itself. Roof trusses tend to mean a total roof replacement to get a loft in there. Luckily, most terrace houses in the UK have cut timber roofs, which make it a lot easier to convert the space into a usable loft. Also, loft conversions are the cheapest type of extension you can do, providing your roof is suitable for one. Remember though, you will most likely require planning permission to build this basic loft conversion. If you're a full Bespoke Home Design Library member, then you have access to the Planning Permission Guideline Report, which goes into how to get planning permission in great detail. And you will need a structural engineer to design the structure for you. We're getting into some pretty serious structural work here, so you might want to check out the Structural Work Guideline Report, which you also have access to if you're a full Bespoke Home Design Library member. And if you're not, then what are you waiting for? And one final thing is that I have simplified the steps in this execution plan to be sequential, so it's easier to understand why we are doing each step. I have omitted some of the construction steps in this execution plan that must be carried out at the start of constructing a loft conversion, like moving water tanks, drainage, utilities, etc. But all those steps are covered in the Loft Conversion Guideline Report. The point of this execution plan is to show you what you can achieve with a loft conversion rather than getting bogged down in the minutiae that will be sorted out by a competent building contractor anyway. In other words, we're going straight to the good stuff. In this presentation, I'm going to give you a basic loft conversion layout. And to get the most from your loft conversion, we're going to utilise the following 5 principles. Number 1, we are going to design each roof in the loft with circulation between each room in mind. Number 2, we're going to get as much natural light and ventilation into the loft as we can. Number 3, we want to provide a connection to the outdoors where we can, although direct access to the front or rear garden usually isn't an option from the loft, but we do achieve something similar in step 4, as you'll see. Number 4, we're going to try and make each room multifunctional where possible. And finally, the 5th principle, which is maximising the space in the loft. We're going to try and use every square foot of space where possible. So for starters, here's the open plan layout of your loft space. And just in case you are wondering, that's the flat roof over the first floor. And this is the roof over the ground floor extension that we cover in another execution plan. If we go back to the open plan, at this point this is an open plan, it's got your roof joists in it. So in step 1 we need to appraise your roof and see what we need to do to turn it into a usable room. The structure in your roof probably looks very similar to this. And to start to open up the loft space, we will need to cut out the timbers in the middle, and we'll remove them like this. And replace them with some new structure that will hold your roof together. I've shown some steel beams here, but it really depends on how big your roof space is. But more often than not, you will require some steelwork in there as it is stronger than timber, and we are removing quite a bit of the structure of the roof to give us the space in the middle for your loft conversion. The new roof also mustn't let the roof sag, as this will crack your tiles or slates and the waterproofing membrane, and you end up with a leaking roof. This is the first and most important step in this whole execution plan, because if you get this wrong, the whole thing goes to pot. And unfortunately, not all roofs are suitable for loft conversions, but that's all covered by a specific blog post on the Bespoke Home Design blog, so we won't cover it here. Once the main roof has been strengthened, we can now start constructing the remaining structure for the loft space. With step 2, we'll remove the rear rafters from your roof, so we can construct a long window with a bit of wall at the end. And it's this that will raise the headroom of the entire loft space and give us a lot more usable square footage. The full length window will also give us a ton of natural light and ventilation into the loft space, and this will make a massive difference to the entire loft. But next, with step 3, we need to construct the stairs to access the loft. So we have placed it off to the side and in a place where we can get the required headroom in our newly raised loft roof and not have much of an impact on the floor below. With step 4, we're going to put in a door to the outside. So we can create some access out onto the flat roof over the first floor, so you get a mini outside terraced here. If you are going to do this, it will be advisable to put in a protective handrail around the roof, so your mates don't fall off after having a few at your party. Listen, the following steps all revolve around putting in the roof spaces in the loft, and all the walls from now on in will be made from lightweight timber stud. So at step 5, we're going to create a full-length storage space in the front of the house. The head height here isn't enough to stand in anyway, so it is the perfect place to use for storage. Now we are coming onto the rooms themselves. In step 6, we will construct the ensuite bathroom, and in it we have put a bathtub. In fact, we could probably fit a shower in here too. It would involve moving things around a bit, as we wouldn't be able to put the shower unit underneath the roof light. However, it's all very doable as it's a decent sized bathroom. And you'll notice that it has access to our newly created storage space too. One problem we now have though is that the bathroom is dark as it has no windows. So to remedy that, in step 7 we will put in a Velux roof light to get lots of natural light into the bathroom. The Velux roof lights can be opened whenever suits to let some air into the space. With step 8 we will put the bed beside the full length window we built, and we'll put in a study desk too. And finally, in step 9 we'll put in another roof light to the front of the house just to get some more natural light and ventilation into the bedroom. And this concludes the basic loft layout. There is still quite a lot we can do with this space, as we have only put in a single bedroom and it's quite a big space. In fact, you could argue there's a lot of space that is going to waste here, but we don't have to stop here. There is also an advanced layout which involves us creating 2 bedrooms, a bathroom and a study. And there is another execution plan here in the library that covers it, so check that out. So there you have the 9-step terraced house basic loft conversion execution plan, and I hope I've given you some ideas in this presentation. There are of course other things we can do with the house to make it bigger, such as tweak the layout of both the ground and first floors to unlock a load of space that's currently going to waste. We could do a ground floor extension if you haven't done one already, or even a basement conversion. And we have an execution plan for each of them too in the Bespoke Home Design library, so make sure to check them out. And remember that if you have any questions or comments, then please post them in the Bespoke Home Design Brain Trust group on Facebook. And don't forget, if there is a topic you would like us to create an execution plan for, then also let us know. And finally, there's a lot more stuff here in your membership area to check out, and I hope you get a lot of value from it. I'll see you in the next video.